What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with Dark Outpost, and as many of you may know, I have a problem with Naughty Dog. I have a problem with the decisions they made in The Last of Us Part 2. I have a problem with the way this game was marketed, the false advertising used to make sure that you bought the game based on the relationship between Joel and Ellie in the first game, because we know they wouldn't have sold as many copies if they had told you straight up that this game had so much Abby in it. And then, of course, I have a problem with the false copyright strikes, the illegal abuse of the DMCA system from Sony and Naughty Dog to silence critics of this game, people like myself, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, Az from Heel vs. Babyface, just some guys, so many other people. But I also think it's very important to be clear and accurate in our criticisms. And there's something going around right now that got out yesterday that is not true. It's simply not. It's a misunderstanding of what happened. So I wanted to clear that up. And it has to do with reviews and a certain amount of fake reviews that are positive for this game. Now, when we look at this Metacritic score, this 5.4 based on 122,000 ratings, before we get into the inaccuracies, I want to say we 100% know that some of these reviews are fake. Both the zeros and the tens. There are a ton of fake reviews out there. God of War, which released 2 years before this game, only has something like 14,000 reviews on Metacritic. This game has nearly 10 times that. There's a ton of review spamming going on. But what I specifically wanted to talk about is what this article was written on. A couple people did a video about it yesterday. I've seen it on the Reddit page, people spreading this around, and I wanted to clarify because there's something not right about this data. A significant portion of positive reviews for The Last of Us 2 have been proven fake. Before delving, and this is from One Angry Gamer, and go check out One Angry Gamer, they're awesome. I just think that there's a little bit that needs to be clarified about this article. Before delving into the topic proper, it needs to be understood beforehand that the precise ratio of fake reviews is uncertain. This is attributed to skepticism cast toward the tool Sheila Allen utilized to derive the original figures. What is not in contention is the fact that a significant portion of them are indeed fake. So when you go to Sheila Allen's page, and again, I'm going to put a link to Sheila's Twitter, to Sheila's YouTube. Definitely give her a follow, subscribe to her. She does some really awesome stuff, especially analyzing data. It just so happens that this data that was scraped was faulty data, and we're going to get into why that was the case, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't do awesome stuff. She definitely does. Make sure you give her a follow and a subscribe. She says this in her pinned tweet: FYI, I deleted The Last of Us 2 fake reviews tweet because it was brought to my attention that the data is flawed. I used this Chrome extension to scrape the data and it came out all wonky. The repeated review cannot be found on the user's profile. So just remember that she did put out this retraction as soon as we found out that it was not accurate data, because again, we want to be accurate in our criticisms of Naughty Dog, of The Last of Us Part 2, and everything going on with it. But let's get back to One Angry Gamer, because I do have that original data and we will go through it. Initially, following an analysis of 1,000 positive reviews for The Last of Us Part 2 on Metacritic, Sheila Allen determined that 47% of them were fakes. This conclusion was reached through the analysis of their composition, which revealed 47% of the 1,000 analyzed were the same review posted under different accounts. And this is a video from Jeremy of The Quartering. Now again, Jeremy also, ever since he put this out, he has put out an update to this video. Again, because critics of this game, we want to be accurate with what we're giving people, right? So when something comes out that was wrong, we provide an update. We rectify that situation. You can see right here, update. He even put updated in the title. Update. The data accuracy now in question. It looks like this may be incorrect. I'm pulling new data ASAP. All right. So Jeremy has issued an update to that story that some of the stuff might not be accurate. Since then, Miss Allen has had her analysis critiqued by several individuals. of importance. I don't know if I would say of importance, but YouTube, Ryan Kinel, me, claimed to have double-checked her work and reached a different conclusion. What precisely was said is lost as the original tweet was deleted, but the exact figure was called into question. Well, it just so happens that we have that data here. So I want to show you guys exactly why and how we came to the conclusion that this data is faulty, and it is. Again, let's just reiterate that there are a ton of fake reviews for this game. My Nerdy Home, I gotta give a shout out to Steph from My Nerdy Home. A couple weeks ago, she went through some of these reviews and she realized that all of these have very similar language, just like the Rise of Skywalker incidents, including this gem that was just a series of characters over and over again to get that 75 character limit. Clearly someone just spamming reviews, right? So shout out to Steph as well. I'm gonna put her link to her YouTube channel and her Twitter in the comments or in the description of this video. Make sure you check her out. But this data is from Sheila. The last 1,000 positive reviews on Metacritic. Now, as you go through this, you can see it has the username, the actual URL of the user on Metacritic, the date of the review, the score, and then the actual verbiage in the review itself. Now, a lot of these are similar: a true masterpiece, a masterpiece. Look at all these that start with amazing game, comma, something else, right? All these things we saw when there was, fake positive review spamming for Rise of Skywalker. And listen, there is 120,000 reviews of this thing. There's going to be people that do use similar verbiage, but let's go down to what is really interesting. And that's this highlighted in green. Now, like One Angry Gamer said, 47% of these positive reviews looked like this. Man, oh man, what a roller coaster of emotions this game has been. Not because of the story, but also because of the gameplay. Felt each kill. Heart crack, brain down in emotion. Beautiful game, great gameplay, self-action, blah, 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 right? Specifically, just remember that it starts with man, oh man. And then as you go through all of these reviews, these are all from July 9th. There's some in there from June 22nd. There's some in there from July 10th. All these things. June 25th. All have this same freaking verbiage, this same review. And of course, as so many people saw this, we're like, boom, got him. We knew it. This is actually a smoking gun. However, when you see these things, you have to do your research. So I wanted to verify these reviews. Luckily, Sheila put the user profile right here. So Benner Skating, the first one, let's go check him out. This is Benner Skating's profile. He does have 4 ratings, 1 review. Here's his review. Last was part 2. Man, oh man, what a roller coaster of emotions. This is the one. So once I saw this, I'm like, look, boom, data's good. Let's move on. But I wanted to double check even more because obviously there's hundreds of these reviews. So I figured let's just go to the next one. J Penn, check out his review. Go to his profile. That doesn't say man oh man. Now the score is right, but it doesn't have that same review that all of us were expecting to see when we went to this profile. It's completely different. All right, well maybe that's just one problem. Let's go to the next one. Negon, go to his user profile. No, that is not what his review says either. So you can see this pattern that started to emerge as I checked them. So I went ahead and I checked the first 10 on here. I just went through them all. That is not the same review. That is not the same review. This is not the same review, and so on and so forth. So you can see there was obviously a problem. Somewhere when the data was scraped using a Chrome extension, the data got messed up, right? It got repeated for some reason down this review line, just for some of the reviews. That just happened. I even had Sheila show me the unaltered data that she found. It was the same way. Now, there's no way that these people would have been able to go in and change their reviews because of how quickly we realized that it was wrong. Basically, just after Sheila put out that tweet, I went through it and started checking it. There wouldn't have been any time for this to happen. And you can sample multiple of these hundreds, which I did. I just took random ones. Let's do this. Aquaboy. We'll do it live so you guys can see too. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll post it in there. Let's see what Aquaboys says. You can see it's not the man oh man. This is that person's profile. This is their review. It is the right score. but it is not man oh man. So that is what I realized. I contacted Sheila. She deleted it, tried to stop the flow of information, but unfortunately, people had already seen it. People had already made videos about it, that thing. Now what we're doing is try to clarify what exactly is going on. But let's continue on with One Angry Gamer's post. How did this happen? Simply put, sample sizes. Her original findings are correct. Of the 1,000 she crawled, 47% were indeed fake reviews. But that's not exactly correct. Like we showed you, there is a problem with the data. There's a problem because those are not the same review. Again, we all know, we can look at this data right here that was pulled. This is just the first day scores, right? The first day scores, we had 3,000 zeros on the first day within 24 hours of when this game was released, when no one could have finished the game. We also had 1,800 tens. We know there has been fake positive reviews for this. Go take a look at Last of Us Reddit, not Last of Us 2, that's the Chad Reddit. Go look at the Last of Us Reddit, and you can see people that are encouraging people to go leave reviews. It's happening. There is combative review bombing going on. There's not a doubt in anyone's mind. But I do think it's very important that we be accurate when we report these things. And One Angry Gamer goes on to say, this isn't anyone's attempt to be misleading, it's just how statistics work. In fact, controlling the sampling size and location can allow the person to present whatever result they want to be shown. Now, again, as I just showed you guys, it's not about sample size. It's not about anything like that. There was just a problem when the data was scraped. It was just a weird thing that happened with this Chrome extension. Because simply put, these repeated user reviews do not exist. At least not these ones, at least not in this form. We cannot recreate this data. We cannot scrape it again and get this same thing. Because there was simply a mistake. And that is what I think is most important when criticizing Naughty Dog and The Last of Us, that we be as accurate as we can. And when we find stuff that we think could be, oh, a gotcha, if it turns out not to be the case, we have to go out and correct ourselves, just like Jeremy from The Quartering did, right? Props to him. Props to him for having the integrity to say, yep, I was wrong. My bad. Here's an update to this story. That's something that you don't often see, not only from YouTubers, but from the media in general. So shout out to anyone that did use this and has corrected themselves. Shout out for Sheila for being so upfront. And when I said, hey, I think there's something wrong, she didn't get combative or anything. She said, oh shit, maybe there is. And we looked at it and we realized that there was. Make it perfectly clear, there are fake reviews going on. It just wasn't this set of data. And also, to make it perfectly clear, fuck Naughty Dog. I'm sorry that I have to defend them in this case. But one thing I did want to go back to, actually, that One Angry Gamer brought up was this. And this is very interesting. What is known is a significant portion of the positive reviews of the game received are fraudulent. Perhaps it isn't 47%, but we're looking at a double-digit percentage. Though it is speculative, previously I have written about how the HBO show deal was contingent upon the success of the game. According to the director, there isn't even a script for the show yet, and no production beyond concepts greenlighting was scheduled to take place until after the game's launch. It is in Sony's best interest to inflate the user score. That's not surprising following the DMCA abuses the company undertook to squelch all discussion of the game's leaks before launch. With units remaining on the shelves, Sony's decision to tank the reputation will likely come back to haunt them going into their next gen launch. So that's a great point brought up by One Angry Gamer. There's a lot of incentive for Sony and for Naughty Dog to make sure this game gets better user reviews, because they are looking at making that HBO series. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. It hurts me that I have to make a video somewhat defending Naughty Dog, but I think it's important to get that accurate information out there. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.